Yeah, I know we're a little early. Bear with me, guys, okay? We are going to double check to make sure everything is working. I just got behind the camera. I just turned it on. And as you may know, I've been doing videos now for a long time on YouTube. And there's my couch. Okay, I zoomed it out a bit. Because yesterday's video, we did it with the couch was a little bit too zoomed in, and you couldn't really see the detail because of the reason that the stream is highly compressed to get into the T-Mobile network. Because remember, it uploads the video in high definition, but it's compressed to work. So let's get started. I will try not to make it too loud. Thank you. The reason I have to be careful is because if you make it too loud of a noise, it can cause the microphone to shut down, and that's the least of your problems. But the other problem is the battery. Because we did check the battery, and it appears to be good for the time being. Okay, now, like Lumi said, the battery. That's one of the reasons I do need to check that, because the lithium, the 9-volt battery in the remote is, for all intents and purposes, is online. No one's online yet, but that's okay. So let me just make sure everything's okay. Let's just touch base here, make sure everything is turned on. Make sure the camera is in focus. Yes. Okay. Good. That's good. This December, we have had several passing away of several famous artists, actresses, musicians. The most interesting passing away was first Carrie Fisher, and then her mother, Debbie Reynolds, passed away about a day after that as she was preparing for her daughter's funeral. The last words that is reportedly said was, "I really would like to be with my daughter," and then she died. You can die of a broken heart. That is indeed a real thing. And as Carrie Fisher obviously loved her daughter, her mother, and her mother loved her daughter. And so there is definitely... what's this one here? I'm just looking at something. Alright. So, yes, folks, you can really die of a broken heart. And Mr. Watson of InfoWars was talking about the fact is that some people have a mistaken impression of what is happiness, and I thought we would talk about what Mr. Watson pointed out, that was stated from a psychiatrist, that in the modern age of technology, there seems to be some confusion between the term how we view clinical depression. The man he quoted, I don't have his name in my head here, was that he said, out of the many patients I have dealt with, only 3 have ever said they were unhappy. Because most of them said they were depressed. However, there's a question about, is unhappiness depression, and is depression unhappiness? In other words, we seem to have this habit of trying to throw everything into depression and not accepting the symptoms of really why we're depressed. I'm paraphrasing him, so please don't take it as gospel of what he said. If you want to watch Mr. Watson there from Infowars.com to really understand, I didn't have time to interface my phone into the system here so we could play it for you. But clearly, it does mean something. Right now, one of the statistics says that 1 out of 10 Americans are on antidepressants. Here's the most shocking figure. 1 out of 4 women between the ages of 40 and 50 years of age in America is on antidepressants. That's 25% of those women. I mean, that's a large number. So, why? What's going on? Why is it in the last 60 years especially that we're seeing such a rise in clinical depression? Well, I would love to play that piece for you from Watson. I can't physically put you a picture, but I may be able to let you hear it from Infowars.com. So let me see if I can give you the audio from Mr. Watson on Infowars.com. I do know that you can hear the sound. I don't have it plugged into the microphone, so you're going to just have to listen a little closer, or at least I can give you the link. It might be better to give you the link to avoid possible charges or allegations of plagiarism. Yes, I think I will do that. I think I will give you the actual link to the Infowars piece, and then you can look it up yourself, and that way you can make your own conclusions to what he was talking about. And so give me a second here to load the file. The piece was written. There's a few other pieces too, but I want to try to focus it. Here we go. His name, by the way, is Paul Watson, and I apologize to Paul Watson for not knowing your first name. I've kind of slipped my mind. Let's see. Sounds like you're having a time finding pieces. I'm having a time finding the piece because I've read it, I watched it, and I have to admit that I don't totally agree with Paul Watson's answers. I don't totally disagree with it either, and I thought it was really interesting that he should bring this up. I'm trying to find the piece so I don't have to rehash it. Let's see. I know I've seen a piece in here. It's in your history, Michelle. I know that, but I was gonna... Alright, yes it is. Okay, so let's see. So let's see if I can try to find it. I know it's a fairly new piece. And I think it's further up than this. This I'm really kind of way far back. Let's see. No. Okay. The secret to happiness revealed. It's called The Secret to Happiness Revealed. It is 24 minutes and 18 seconds long. I am not going to play the whole doggone piece. I will put some bits on. I want you to listen to the first 10 minutes, and then you can go ahead and go with the rest of it yourself, because I'm not going to go through every single piece. This is from Paul Watson, and this is from Infowars.com. I don't have this plugged into my phone, so you're gonna have to just bear with me.
I'm going to get back into the news here in a second. First, I want to tell you about free shipping store-wide and all new specials now live at InfoWarsStore.com.
Let me just jump over to the actual meat and potatoes. He goes into, of course, the first few minutes. He's talking about the InfoWars products, and I will, of course, I do want to be honest. InfoWars.com is a major.
Well, this is out of the New York Times. Fans tweet about mental illness to honour Carrie Fisher. The actress Carrie Fisher, who spoke openly about her struggles with mental illness, once joked that she wanted to start a bipolar pride day to help erase the stigma of the disease. Legions of fans seemed to grant her wish on Tuesday. In the hours after her death, at age 60, one after another, in words both plain-spoken and deeply personal, admirers paid tribute to Miss Fisher by coming out on Twitter with their own stories of mental illness. So then this article goes through a list of tweets from people who used the opportunity of Carrie Fisher's unfortunate death to tweet about their mental illness, about their depression. And again, this is an issue that crops up again and again and again. You know, we're living longer. We have access to all manner of entertainment, all manner of distractions. Our quality of life is better than ever before. And we're going to get onto some of that with the Thomas Sowell quotes. You know, compared to past generations, we've had it better than any of them. You know, back in the 50s, a lot of people didn't even have a television set. Now we've got multiple opportunities to entertain ourselves, communicate with people, live longer, live happier, and yet, what do you see? Well, over the past 2 decades, the use of antidepressants has gone through the roof. 1 in 10 Americans are now on antidepressants, and that is just the ones who report that they are. 1 in 4 women in their 40s and 50s is also on antidepressants. 1 in 4! Even though we supposedly live in the greatest era ever when it comes to personal comfort. Now, it's interesting that we see this depression issue cropping up again and again, because I was reading a quote from Theodore Dalrymple, who is a British author, and he was a doctor who treated people for depression. And his argument basically boiled down to this, and I'll read the quote in a second. You don't have a right to be happy. Okay, happiness is earned by the way that you live your life. You don't suddenly become afflicted with this new disease called depression and then throw pills at it, swallow pills, and think that that can treat something when that's not even the source of it. The source of your depression is more accurately called unhappiness. You're unhappy because you're not fulfilling your potential in life and because you're not even striving for it.
Okay, that's perfect. As he just said, okay, you're happy because you haven't achieved the thing in your life that makes you happy. A lot of people are not even striving for it. What do you mean with that? Well, much the rest of it, I explained it all. And we live in an age of modern technology. And we all have Facebook and Twitter and MySpace. Yes, I'm on MySpace. Yes, for those of you who are watching this from MySpace, yes, there are people who are watching MySpace. I actually did post this, and Blogger and all that. Is that we have all this modern technology. We have all these people that supposedly call us our virtual friends. And yet, here's where it gets scary. So many of them, we don't know them personally. There's absolutely, first of all, it's almost impossible to know every single one of our so-called friends on Facebook. There's just, or MySpace, or Google Plus. It's just like, there's millions of, some people have hundreds, if not thousands. But the real people that they know are like, maybe like five or 10 real close ones. But there's also been, for many years, there's been a misunderstanding of what is true happiness. And true happiness is, first of all, is it money? No. Money is like a tool, like a screwdriver, or like a pair of vice grips that helps you to achieve an end, to, in the case of a tool, to build something. Money helps you to build a thing. Is happiness an object, like a car? Like I was thinking earlier, an example, like a Porsche. sports car sitting in your driveway. No, but maybe you might be happy with a Porsche for a little while, but it's not really what you really consider the thing that you want to live for and to die for. It's just a car, okay? It's just a car. So people, wonder, well, what am I supposed to be happy about? Well, think about back when you were a child, because it's a funny thing when you're a kid. We all say is, like we all have dreams. Everybody does. I had a couple different dreams. Number one, I was always interested in the technical field. I always was. Okay. My favorite thing was boilers, heating systems, furnaces. Yeah, believe it or not, I used to sit in the boiler room in school and and watch the boilers. It would be boiling water and watching all the different temperature limits go on and off to determine the state of the boiler and all that. I loved that as a kid. I loved that. I do. I still love to sneak into a boiler room and it. But when we get older, we're kind of taught by society that, oh, I'm sorry, that's a pie in the sky. You can never be that because of whatever. In my case, I have physical handicaps. You're legally blind, you're partially deaf, blah, 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 blah. You should be just happy watching YouTube and TV, getting fat, farting up a storm, sitting there, rabble-rousing, making people's life miserable. No, that's not happiness to me. I also loved other things too, of course. I love the media. I love fame. What are you doing? He's got hair balls again. So I hear. Okay. Finish the story. Okay, I will. The thing is that one of the things I wanted to do besides looking at boilers and stuff like that as a kid was I like listening to the radio and listening to old time radio shows. I shared a couple early NBC Archie Andrews show programs with Dory a couple nights ago. She thought they were kind of interesting because it was like, but she like so many people in this age, she has a hard time imagining the story completely in her head. It's because we've gotten so visual that unfortunately when it comes to imagination, a good portion of Americans really don't have it because that mind's eye has been allowed to do the equivalent to get a cataract. So for so many people today, everything has to be portrayed to them as a picture on a screen that they can see because their mind and imagination has been squelched. So for me, true happiness is what I'm doing right now, which is to advocate for you and speak openly about things that, and it's for me is sharing my knowledge. That's what I love doing. It's really related to what I wanted to do when I was a youngster. Granted, I really rather have been behind a microphone in a radio studio and doing a radio comedy or radio drama. But you know what? Okay, fine. It's not the way it's going to work, so I'm going to use what we got. But so many people today mix up unhappiness with depression. The sad truth is the modern age is very unhappy. It doesn't really bring happiness. I mean, you could have like I said, you could have thousands of Facebook friends, and maybe you only have like one or two real friends, but they're so busy trying to chase their own imaginary friends or virtual friends that they don't have time to congregate with the real friends, and so the real friends sit there and they're like, "What am I doing? I'm worried about some person over in, talking from China, if he's lucky enough to reach China, but let's just say at least, maybe Korea or South Korea, talking about his marriage of his sister to a man in Korea, and yet I'm sitting worried more about him than my real friend on the street that barely has anything to eat. And of course, the poor friend on the street, the real friend that I see every day, is knocking on my door and saying, "Hey, why don't you come on over and have a little bit of coffee?" And then we say, "Yeah, I'm busy." And you wonder, well, what are you busy doing? And when you look at your actual day, it's for so many people, it's not doing anything. Really? What? Seriously, take Dory for example. I mean, I have nothing against Dory. She's just a good example of what I'm talking about. She'll sit there and she'll play these games like town shit in Farmville or farmland or whatever, and you sit there and she's so engrossed in this virtual reality game. Then the game, she's this successful farmer, okay? And in real life, her life is unpleasant. It's so stressful. She's got issues in her life with her daughter, and the bills piling up, and the debt collectors are pounding at the door, and her cell phone's on in minutes, and she doesn't know what the future holds. Well, that's because she has been told the equivalent of, "You're on welfare, sit down, shut the fuck up, and don't worry about the real world outdoors. Just play another round of town shit." The truth is that she really wanted to do more than that, and I don't blame her. The welfare system, I mentioned this many times, has created a situation where it has given the people a false sense of completeness in their lives, and yet when you look at it, they're not happy. If you're not truly happy, then it doesn't matter if you got a place to sleep and food to eat and a place to excrete. I mean, if you got the most precious thing, I know homeless people who are truly, yes, they're truly happy. St. Francis of Assisi, for example, despite the fact that he was a merchant's son, despite the fact that he had well-to-do, he gave all that up because he wanted to rebuild a church in San Damiano in Italy, because he felt that is what he must do. And because he was focused on that job, he was truly happy because he was doing what he wanted to do from the beginning. It's the same with me. Yes, YouTube is not really exactly what I wanted to do, but you know what? It's the closest thing I got right now, so I'm going to use it, which is to get out there and talk to you and to share, and that's what I do. As long as my battery doesn't go dead in my iRig Pre. You got a spare ready? I do. I got a spare ready. If it does, I'm going to just check that because I didn't replace the battery yet. So, yeah, that's good. But I'm going to reset it anyway. So just give me a second here. Now, I just reset it because remember when I moved this table back? That the iRig Pre, if you move the table back, it will make a noise, and that noise will cause the preamp to shut down. So I'm going to reset it to make sure that you, we're going to get a first chance to hear me. And yes, the light is fully, brilliantly bright green. It's not run down, it's not dimming. At least not dimming to the point where it's not working. So anyway, what is and what he also mentioned is happiness is something that you earn. It's not something that's freely given to you. I mean, that's okay, that sounds strange, but let's go back to the Declaration of Independence. We believe that all men and women are, I have to be honest, sometimes I get the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights mixed up, or the Constitution mixed up. Let's put it this way. It's been a long time since I've been in American history, okay? So let's just, regardless, let's get back to the main quote. We all believe is all men and women are created equal and given by inalienable rights. All men and women are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Please note, it does not say life, liberty, and happiness. Well, pursuit is a key piece because you're all entitled to life and you're all entitled to liberty, but happiness is something that you have to work towards. In our day and age, all this modern technology, we're told that we should be happy that we have a TV with, say, a couple bazillion channels. And we should be happy that we have a flush toilet. And we should be happy that we have electric lights. And we should be happy because we have a good medical coverage and we have good food. Yes, but here's the problem. There are some people that find those things to be not such a big deal. That's really not, But if the person can achieve their life's dream, which almost every single child in this world thinks about when they're growing up. We asked them when you're a child in school, say like, first grade, what do you want to do when you grow up? You may hear answers like, I want to be a singer. I want to be an artist. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman. I want to be, an electrician. I want to be a telephone person. I want to be a plumber. I want to be, okay, so I'm saying, those are deep down goals that sometimes they change as you get older. Yeah, but if you go back and ask the same child who is now in beginning high school the same question, and you remember what they originally said. For example, if you asked me in high school what I wanted to do when I grew up and graduated, I would have told you that I wanted to work with computers. If you said to me, well, what happened to what you wanted to do when you were in first grade? Well, because of my eyesight, I was told I can't do that. Okay? In other words, we unfortunately changed our dream because we're told that we cannot achieve that dream. Okay? So we do this throughout our lives. Of course, it's one thing if we later agree that we can't do that thing, and that's like squelching your most powerful happiness. I mean, look, guys, take a look at some of the jobs out there in the world today. There are people who are so happy doing what they wanted to do. There are guys who all they wanted to do was to be something that you and I would find absolutely positively unglamorous. There are people who have always wanted to be garbage men, and they work for the Department of Sanitation, and they're happy as shit because they got to do what they wanted to do when they were young. They wanted to be a garbage man, and now they're an adult, and they're taking out dumpsters, and they're throwing out food, and they're doing their dream, and they're happy. Pay doesn't necessarily too bad, because garbage guys make a lot of money. They really do. But the point here is that because they followed the dream, and they did not allow anybody to dissuade them from doing that. They are doing wonderful. They're happy. They got to go. I mentioned, as I said, I was always interested in the HVAC, right? Why the hell didn't I even go to school to become an HVAC tech? I could have been making a fortune. I mean, really? Think about it. Oh, I'm sorry, but because of your eyesight. Fuck my eyesight. You know what I do now? I still do technical stuff. I still fix things. I'm the landlord's maintenance woman. You think I haven't been downstairs and stared at awe at that big boiler in the basement? That big living, breathing machine that sucks on natural gas as food and makes hot water and provides hot water for heat? Come on. You think I don't think of how all that works? I think about it a lot because I do have the technical specs and I do know how it's set up, but that's not the point. I'm also interested in electrical too. So yeah, I do electrical for fun right now because unfortunately I never got my E2 or E1 license. If I had gotten, I told Jimmy, I said, Jimmy, why don't we go ahead, help me pay for my E1 electrician's license, go and take the exam, then we'll get the test scores back, and then I'll get my license, and then we'll be all set. No, I don't want to do that. Well, I want to do it. You know? Again, there is. That's where you get this cognitive dissonance. You got one person saying, no, you can't do that. And then, of course, you're saying, but I want to do it. So you kind of get this, you know, like you can't make up what you want to do. So, like I said, I still would like to go back to school. I mean, and to do something in my life. Sitting on my fat ass, eating chocolate chip cookies, while listening to somebody bellyache about the problems is not my thing. I don't like just listening to that. I like to act on the things that I know I can deal with. You know, if there's a squeaky wheel, I'm one who's going to get out the oiling container, the oil can, and squirt some oil on it. If there's a burnt out light bulb, I'm one who's going to reach up, unscrew it, and put a new one in. Because I don't like seeing equipment being neglected. And that's just me. So for me, I would be happy doing the things that I've always wanted to do as a child. And I never did. And I really kind of wish I had maybe focused on those things. And I can mention radio. I love radio. I love radio. I mean, there's nothing wrong with TV. It's just that radio is really my first love, you know? I do YouTube videos because that is the closest thing that I'm going to get in the immediate time being to starting a radio station. I want to become a fully licensed AM radio station in Connecticut. I gotta tell you, $3,000 filing fees, then there's site survey fees, then there's acquiring fees, then there's, of course, land rights and zoning and all this other stuff. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to do those things. Of course I do. Get me access to the things, the media, the hardware, software I need, and I'll do it. I just love doing that stuff. So if you think happiness is going to come out of a container from the pharmacist, you are so incorrect, because there is a difference technically between clinical depression and unhappiness. But in this day and age, there's so much overlap between the two because there are people that don't know the difference between whether they're unhappy and whether they're depressed. Because we say it's the same thing. But if you ask those individuals, like I did Dory, what did you want to do as a child? And she told me. I said, well, did you ever try to do any of that? And she says, I didn't think it was ever going to be possible. Okay, sometimes that happens. I'm legally blind. I know what she's talking about. I don't have a problem with that. Well, hey, happens to everybody. But if you do think that, just because of infirmity or whatever, that you could never do the things that you really wanted to do, if you're willing to bust your tail and work hard, and it says the pursuit of, it doesn't say it's guaranteed that you will be happy. The Constitution doesn't say that. Okay? So everybody has the ability to achieve that goal. It may not necessarily be something you can do overnight, but you will have the ability to achieve it. And that's what makes it so hard. Because so many people today, unfortunately, give up that goal, and you end up seeing these people just exist. They exist, and they are unhappy because they have sold themselves out because they think they can never achieve that goal. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. I've done it myself a couple times. And I hated every single time I did it. But, these YouTube videos, at least I am able to achieve one of my goals, even if it has been modified for the 21st century. I have a chance to reach out and do things and to share. But one of the things also that is also important is, what about our real friends? It makes a hell of a difference. Unless you love living in a cave all by yourself and not talk to anybody, which is a majority of people is not like that. Trust me, there are I wouldn't say no, but there's very few people who would like to spend their lives like that. Very few. And even monks, and like the Trappists and the Cistercian monks, have times that, sure, they get together for dinners, meals, right? And yet they go and pray. But it's when they are together at recreation and also during meals that they are part of something much greater than themselves. And that's what makes it all different. That's one of the reasons why I love having Monique here or Dory here, is because they bring out the best in me and I bring out the best in them, because we have this rapport between me and them that makes the program go so much better than it's just me and Lumi. Not that there's anything wrong with Lumi. No, there's nothing wrong with me. You're right. To have another person. And Michele and I have agreed that if I had not been here, Michelle's life would have been even worse. Absolutely. It would have been a lot worse. Lumi provides another personal contact, which is very important, because most of my peers are so busy wrapped up in their own little world that there's that little disconnect between them and me, and it's sad but it's true. And Lumi and I, of course, are a couple, and we've been together for over 10, almost, oh my grace, I grew up with Lumi. She was my spirit guide all my life. So I was never truly alone because I had Lumi there. And then in 2010, we joined together, and officially we were joined in 2000, was it 2011? Yeah, about that. 2011, we officially got married. Yeah. But the point here is we do great things together. But I would be totally devastated if Lumi died or something happened and she went away. I don't know what I would do. My whole life would go up in smoke. I don't think I could cope. That's exactly what happened to Debbie Reynolds. Carrie Fisher was her daughter. Debbie Reynolds is trying to deal with the grief and the sad and the loss of her daughter, who was 60 years old. Debbie Reynolds was 84. So it's not only that she had to deal with her daughter's burial and the memorial service and all that bullshit, which is a lot of stuff, she really truly missed her daughter. So she said the last words that were ever reported was, "I really wish I was with Carrie." And it was, I guess, the powers to be decided, you got it. Your wish will be granted, and she died of a stroke. So mother and daughter are now on the other side, and they're together. Now, I don't know what Carrie Fisher was suffering from depression of. I have no clue. I don't know very much about her. All I really know of Carrie Fisher was she played Princess Leia, and I watched Star Wars when I was young, when I was about, 7 years old or so. Or was it a little older than that? I don't know. Anyway, the point was, I watched, it was 1977, I was 68. I was 9. I was 9 years old. Okay. The whole point I'm trying to say is, one, if you are not able to achieve happiness and you are feeling depressed, are you really depressed? Or are you really unhappy? If you're unhappy, you're going to have to go inside your own soul. No shrinky poo giving you a pill is going to help you here. Psychodynamic therapy does help, but it's going to cost more money, which is going to cost you more money, and it's going to cost more happiness, because you feel like, I got to pay someone, $100 an hour to sit there and listen to me, and instead of being able to talk to my closest friend and have my closest friend take the time out of their day, and I know it's hard in this day and age, right? Take time out of my day to help me to answer the question, why am I so unhappy? Well, if you think telling everybody on Facebook or MySpace or Twitter or Google Plus that you're unhappy, you think that personally majority of the people on those sites give a shit? Of course not. You're just another voice in the ether to them. They're not gonna know you. They don't know who you are. They don't even, you're just another person. I mean, and that's kind of sad, but it's true. But your closest physical friends are the ones that can either help you or hurt you. The ones that help you will say, you know what, I'm going to put my knitting down. I'm going to put my town shit away for a little bit. And we're going to talk about this. And we're going to see if we can make you happy. Let's see if we can try to find out why you're unhappy. And in some cases, maybe we can see if we can start to turn things around a little bit by giving you some suggestions and maybe some steps on how to get out of this jam. I know that from my own personal experience today, I had a chance to look at the situation for January's budget. And first of all, my right eye is an enigma, because some days it does really great. This morning I could see the pupil in my right eye fine. And some days I can't see my pupil in my right eye just by looking at my right eye without a major squint fest. So it has its days when my right eye works great, and some days my right eye doesn't work great. But the eye drops have been a significant improvement for my right eye. And so I got the newest PayPal bill, and I realized that because the interest and all that, it was costing me about $16 a month for the monthly interest. And I said, well, I'm always paying $50, but that's just great. I can buy my eye drops, but I can't buy anything else because the eye drops by themselves is $39 a box. And yet, if I send them $50, I'm still going to be short $5 or $6. That means that my monthly bill is going to go up because now instead of putting $50 a month in to cover the eye drops and the interest, I have to pay $60. So I'm saying to myself, well, this isn't going to work because I still have other things I need to give to the studio. So what am I going to do? I got to choose. I can either buy a couple dresses. So, I've been wearing this for a few days now. I really got to get more clothes. And that's exactly what the problem is. Is I got to get my clothes. And I can get some nice dresses, like a maxi dress on eBay, but the problem is it's going to cost you like $20, even for a second-hand one. So that means that I can't buy the eye drops. That means, again, one of the biggest problems is that I kept running to deferring my maintenance of my eyes. And so I get the eye drops per month, and then they do great. And then I run out of money, and I don't buy eye drops for a month or 2 or 3 months later, and my eyes go back to shit. That's not good. I mean, it sucks. So now I'm trying to decide, should I just buy the eye drops and instead of putting $50 this month and put $60 into the PayPal credit just to deal with the interest? And I don't really think I can do that either because I need clothes and I need to make sure to buy a few small things for the studio, like some replacement parts. But I'm like, shit, man, if I can't see, I can't put the parts in the first place. So what am I supposed to do? I don't know. I don't know. I have to still figure that out. And sometimes it's nice if you could go to a friend and say, friend, what am I supposed to do? Because I don't have the resources to do everything, and I'm totally stumped. And I am. And the videos that you watch are, of course, I hope one day to come home with a small, source of income to make these videos go better. I know that sounds stupid. I'm sorry, but I don't mean to be dumb. But I'm trying to say is these videos right now are the only revenue I get. Besides my Social Security disability, which we both know is a crapshoot. You ever study Social Security disability? You know it sucks. It's not helping anybody. Like I said, I'm putting all this work into these videos. And some of you, of course, so many of you who really are just, observers. I mean, you're busy watching all that, but you're taking the time to turn on the YouTube channel and listen to this one. And I'm not expecting you to sit there and watch every single video. And obviously no one's watching it right now, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means that no one's watching it right now. But the funny thing is you have to do what's your replays. So, and that's not surprising. But you guys have honestly don't have much reason to be personally invested into me because I'm just a talking person on a couch. I'm not your brother or your sister or your mother or your father, or something you deal with intimately, closely in your lives. And I think that's something that we all need, because we need that closeness. That's why we have family. That's one of the reasons why Debbie Reynolds really was truly devastated when the death of Carrie Fisher was, because she loved her daughter a lot. And her daughter left her. And that hurt. Just like with George Michael's, lover. George Michael's gay. And, but his lover is now dealing with that empty space in his heart for George Michael. And it's the same deal. That loss of such a deep love that you can't replace. I mean, if for some reason my channel ever went poof, would that really affect you that much? Probably not. You probably just watch another show, right? Another channel. Because it's just another show, basically. Okay? Unless you're really a devoted fan. Well, if you're really a devoted fan, I really appreciate you being a really devoted fan. I really do. But I'm not in the same league as if I was your girlfriend or your mother or your sister. Right? I'm not in the same league as that. I mean, you probably love your mother or sister, and maybe you definitely love your girlfriend or boyfriend more than me. And that's fine. But, you know, like I said, we have all these habits now. We got all these people sitting there, all these virtual friends on Facebook and MySpace and Twitter and Google Plus and all these other sites. But they're really not as close to us as is our immediate family. So that loss of a family member is devastating. I lost my father, okay? I can understand exactly what it's like to lose a loved one, because I did. I lost my father, okay? And my father and I were really close. My mother, not so much, but my father and I were. And so, and that makes it hard because, you can't replace that. That's once that's gone, it's gone. It's hard to believe. So, the loss of a loved one is certainly a very big issue. But also the loss and giving up of a dream that could make you happy is also a very big thing. Maybe some ways when you end up giving up a dream, it's just like basically you might as well go to the equivalent of a dream memorial service, if you will. To think back at all the things that you all really wanted to do and how much it was so special to you and how much you ended up having to say goodbye to what you really truly wanted to do. And if that sounds stupid, I'm sorry, but I don't mean to be. I really don't. We give up so much of our lives that sometimes I think that it causes depression too, because you realize that now you're telling yourself that even that all those naysayers were right, that you're not good enough. And that's really kind of hard to take because I still believe that I should have considered following my goals. YouTube is just one way I'm doing some of my goal, but it's not real. It's not radio. It's not AM radio. It's not doing a live radio show. It's not getting phone calls even though the phone's on. Where's the calls? Oh, I don't got any. But I still think that people do watch these videos, and they do, at least sometimes, some people who are very intellectual are thinking about what I'm saying, and they're probably saying to themselves as, maybe she's right. Maybe I have, in my life, maybe I haven't focused on the things I really wanted to do, and maybe that's why I'm so depressed and drinking, a couple bottles of vodka, because I ended up selling myself short because I could have done more. In the case of alcoholism, it definitely doesn't help if you have a predisposed alcoholism problem. But there are people who, even though they're alcoholics, they are still doing the dream and they're happy. I don't drink because I am a predisposed alcoholic, and I don't want to go down that slippery slope of a dependency issue. I've got enough problems in my own life right now, having to deal with just trying to figure out how I'm going to buy another box of KNC eye drops in January. Never mind trying to worry I'm going to buy a pint of vodka, right? So, the eye drops, like I said, they really do have an effect when they do work. And I'm just kind of saddened that I'm not going to necessarily be able to keep consistently taking my eye drops if I got to focus money on other things. Now, and by the way, another things we talked about, I wanted to get to before I forget, is We talked about, me and Lumi talked about yesterday going to find jobs in other states, and I mentioned that there are some difficulties with that. I haven't done any more research since, but I can tell you that if the situation what I'm hearing is true, and that is that Boston, Massachusetts is just not quite where I should be going, because there's an issue, there's an issue of funds to get there, first of all. And the second thing is it's highly competitive. And there's no housing in Boston that's affordable because of the fact as to what they call gentrification. There's just not any affordable housing in my price range. So that makes it harder too, because you really want to do more than, but Boston may not be the best choice. And that's another thing that's important, is being humble and accepting that maybe sometimes there are things that you can't do. Humble people can actually be happier because they can accept that there are limitations and that they have to work with those limitations. Life is a compromise. Life is also where you have to make decisions based on the information you have in front of you. Does that mean I'm going to stay in Winsted? Yes, for the time being. But I'm still going to keep an open door because, things can change. Who knows? Maybe Donald Trump may successfully encourage somebody, in addition to the state of Connecticut, actually encouraging a manufacturing or a radio station or a media company to come to Connecticut. That's if the legislature will get a sense of take a reality pill that they can't make money that way they're doing because it's going to kill the economy. It's already killing the economy in the state. But if they can actually manage to wake up and reevaluate what they've done or what they're doing and say, okay, you know what, this isn't going to work that way. This is going to kill the economy even more so. So let's find another way to raise revenue. Another thing is that everybody on Social Security disability, Social Security Supplemental Disability Income is actually what it's called. And also SSD or SSI, which is Social Security Supplemental Income, which is not necessarily related to disability. These people put the claws away, Mr. Cat. They hurt, okay? Come on up. These people have been, unfortunately, a lot of them have broken dreams. They'll never, unless they can wake up and say, hey, you know what? I want to change my life. And that means going back to work, that's fine. But I have to find a job I can go back to. There's got to be work for me, my skills I trained. So many of them don't even have skills because they were told that they will never amount to anything. So a lot of them never went to college, none of them went to technical school. Many of them have no training. But some of them have latent talents. I know a lot of so-called handicapped individuals that when in the right circumstances, I'm just cleaning his ear real quick here, in the right circumstances show intelligence and smarts. And they are very resourceful, even if they're not formally trained. And those individuals, I would say, continue your education on your own, as you've been doing. Don't stop learning. If you truly want to change your life for the better, the most important thing you got to do is never allow your brain to rot. Okay? It is true that there are some people who do have the infirmities of the mind. They may not be as sharp as they could be, but they're still very creative. And those people who allow for some of the limitations but still say to themselves, I'm still going to push the envelope anyway, do extremely well when they are given the means to achieve their goal. Now, take a look at my electronic skills, okay? Why not? Here I am, this individual, legally blind, and I'm working on very tiny parts and very small traces on circuit boards. And I'm holding a magnifying glass up to my eye to see those little itsy bitsy tiny circuits and those little itsy bitsy numbers. And I'm trying to design the circuit and solder with a very hot iron onto those little itsy bitsy traces. And you would say is, why bother? Just go ahead and buy one, a pre-made whatever it is, and you don't need to know how to do soldering because you're never going to use it anyway. Excuse me, I use soldering skills all the time. My whole job. I am so happy, really, when I get a chance to build something. I guess that's because that's my family. It runs in my family genetics. Where my family's involved with building trades. But that's what we do. We build stuff. Please don't take away the one thing that makes me happy. Just like I'm sure that there are families that are involved in the trash removal trades or septic tank trades. Those children are happy doing that. And those children, I mean, please, don't tell them that they should not be allowed to, if you want to go ahead and get involved with the septic trade, the sewage trade, don't tell them they shouldn't be allowed to do that. That's sad. Okay? In my case, here I am. I'm doing those tiny circuits. I doesn't mean I'm good. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. I've done some pretty bad solder joints. Trust me. But the point is it gives me joy when I actually do succeed and I do make it work and I turn on the power switch and it starts and it, whatever it is, maybe a repair like I did on part of this equalizer, which is why it's more silent now than it was before, or fixing or recabbing my M68 mixer, or even rebuilding this microphone here, which is the Pile P to make one. This microphone here, it's not on right now, but this microphone here, I rebuilt this from scratch. This microphone is, I'm actually proud of this. Sure, it looks like shit, but guess what? It's mine. It's my shit. I built it. I rebuilt it. It's built to the way I wanted to, given what I had. It makes me proud to have it sitting here on my desk. When I'm on the soup kitchen or when I'm here with Monique, she uses this microphone. She's usually pointed at her. So I'm sitting over here. She's sitting over here because she's married. We're just friends. I don't want to have her sit chicken jowl on me. That's not fair. I think her husband would be very offended if I had that. So the idea is two microphones, is that also allows her to have her own microphone. She's softer speaking than me. So yeah, it does help. Now, it's running late, so let me just wrap this up, giving you a couple pieces of information. Weather-wise. The next few days, I don't see anything really major for weather. It's still, the weather is still, right now there's light rain going on. It is 1 degree Celsius. It feels like -1. The winds are at northeast at 8 kilometers per hour. Humidity is at 92%. The dew point is at 0. The sunrise this morning was at 7:20 a.m. Sunset tonight will be at 4:29 p.m. If I go for the next few days, right now, I can tell you that I do not see any significant issue for the next few days because there are some things, but they're not really big, a stretch in the imagination. For example, take Friday. Friday will be a high. It'll be partly sunny. It'll be a high of 1, a low -7, 20% chance of precipitation. Okay. Saturday. Okay. It'll be a high of 0 and a low -1, with 10% chance of precipitation. And it'll be mostly cloudy. And same thing for Sunday, which will be mostly sunny, a high of 2, a low -3, 10% chance of precipitation. Now, by the way, tomorrow the soup kitchen, it's Thursday today. Okay, sometimes I get the days wrong, but today is Thursday. The soup kitchen was not open today, but it will be open tomorrow. We would think. I don't know. I'll call in the morning to confirm. But we're not open today. But then, as I said, I didn't expect they weren't going to be open, as I know the forecast, and even George had said that he thought that the soup kitchen may or may not be open tomorrow. Okay. Next piece of information is I was confirmed correct that the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and NASA both have been giving falsified data to try to push their global warming climate agenda. The same thing that Adapt 2030 has been saying. The same thing that MicheleMarieDalene, that's EO, me, Mio, I've been saying the same thing, has been also been saying. Whether Decoded hasn't said that specifically, but yet when you look at the actual data, it's all bullshit. This is reported on Infowars.com. So again, here's an independent news source. So here's the deal. If they're telling you bullshit, and you're trying to base your weather predictions on the extended forecast from the National Weather Service, which is a branch of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that's absolutely not going to help you, because garbage in, garbage out. You're giving me bullshit information, how can I give you an honest forecast? No, I can't. So that's why I said I'm really seriously trying to say, I'm trying to find independent means to get you the weather forecast and for accuracy. But now tomorrow is Friday, and so tomorrow, of course, again, there'll be another me and you, and of course, you want to see anything on them, because I know you've been quiet most of the time. Not really. Not much to say. Except, please do click on the advertisements. Oh, yes. Please do. Please click on the ads, because every click gives me a penny. I know what you're going to say. Just a penny. Yeah, but there's 100 pennies to $1. So, every penny of every ad click will help me to get closer to getting a new piece of clothing, or a new studio mixer, or or even a cup of coffee. 99 cups of coffee. Okay, just about 99 cups of coffee. You're absolutely right. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. For now, thank you very much for watching. Unfortunately, we don't have a Christmas tree right now. I put all my Christmas stuff away, so I'm going to just say the reason I put the Christmas tree stuff away is because, as far as I'm concerned, this has not really been much of a Christmas for me, because this year has stunk as far as Christmas goes, because I had no one to celebrate Christmas with except for Lumi, and for that reason. But maybe next year, maybe things will change. Maybe we'll finally do better off. Maybe Dory will finally move in. Maybe we can finally get the bills paid. Perhaps we'll be able to continue with my eye drops and not have to worry about having to choose eye drops or other things. We'll see. Okay, but of course, hopefully by that time, maybe we'll have our 200 subscribers by March of 2017. So if you would like to ask your 42 more people to subscribe, that's all I'm asking. That's a reasonable goal. 42 more subscribers will bring us to 200 subscribers. My personal goal is for March 21st, 2016. If we can exceed that, that's fine. I'd love it if we exceed it. But I think 42 more subscribers in the next 3 months is very possible. So for now, I'm gonna let you go. Again, you know the routine. I'm gonna let the buffer run out on this video before I shut it off, because otherwise it's gonna cut off at the end, and that would kind of suck. We now have an idea now that when I end the video, it's 6:07. I don't really have to leave it running for 2 or 3 minutes. I can actually shut it down about 6:08 or 6:09, and it should have most of the contents. Okay, so see you tomorrow, guys. Bye, everybody.